Hi, my name is Mr. Diaz, and I am the teacher at the Engineering Design Lab at TAF Academy. Our first semester for this high school class, we decided to tackle engineering through a biomimicry perspective in fashion. And so some of my students went into looking at the engineering behind certain animals and certain plant lives and how they could extract those patterns and those designs into their own garment. Some of the garments and designs ended up being like jewelry, and some of them were just shirts, and some of them were skirts, some of them were some crazy hoodies, and just had a lot of fun with this, and I'll have them explain the rest of it to you.
This is Olivia Salter. I'm a senior here at TAF. One of the major things I learned from Mr. Diaz as a teacher, and even as just being able to come in the classroom and goof off, was just to be open to new things, be open to being able to be creative, and even when you think you can't. I think for me personally,
Through this class, I've learned that engineering is so much more than like math and numbers. It's like 3D printing and laser cutting and
Coming into this class, I didn't know how to sew, and that's something that I feel that I should have known, but through the experiences in the class, I learned how to do that.
In this classroom, I really, in my mind, had no intention of like staying. But when I came in and like seeing how everybody was like being cheerful and everybody was like happy.
My name is Olivia Van Trees and I'm a sophomore at TAF Academy. I joined this class because I like to explore all of my options, and I remember when the opportunity was given to us, we had just gotten back from a field trip about retinal engineering, and I really like science and the idea of science and engineering being put together. And so when this engineering opportunity was given to me, I wanted to also explore it. And so far I've been really liking the class, and I'm interested to see where it's going to be going from here.
I was more like behind the scenes building stuff for people. And that was actually more fun than I imagined that other people had actually doing the project. Because by doing that, I learned more about each of the people and how they were inspired to build their own projects, which could give me ideas about doing things for myself in the future.
My brother is an electrical engineer, and from what he told me, I wasn't really interested into engineering, but Mr. Diaz, he opened a whole new world for engineering to me. I realized that I could be creative in this area, and I might even want to pursue it.
There's a few things that I wanted from this class. I wanted to be able to know more on things in the engineering field, also to know more of what I want to get into in the future. And one thing I learned from this class was getting to sewing. Like I knew pretty much like nothing about sewing, and I actually learned.
And specifically learned from Mr. Diaz is that the world of engineering is not just math and like drawing, because I'm bad at both of those things, but I've done really well in this class. That there are so many things outside of my comfort zone that I'm good at, and that it's okay.
You go down to the solder makerspace in Seattle and check out their laser cutter and some pretty fun stuff that we did over the years.
And I came in here with the typical stereotypes about engineering, like, oh, it's going to be about like building things, I'm not going to like it. And now I realize that engineering is not only about that, it's much more. And I'm actually starting to like it and consider it as like a future career.
This year we learned about the course about fashion and how it affects the roles of engineering. And you learned that it's not one-dimensional, it's more of a four-dimensional object. You can go in one way or you can go into another about learning how to put an object and make it look this way, but it can function in an opposite way. And I always just love how Mr. Diaz affected the class as a whole, and he made everything a great community, and I'm so proud of him.
And being in this class really helped me learn more about what I want to do in the future, and Mr. Diaz was a great teacher in that. And what I experienced from this class was that engineering isn't about like math and science and like testing stuff out. It's all there's an art side to it, and I really enjoyed learning that.
I've been complaining to the school for many years about not having an engineering program, and when I first heard about this opportunity, I was like, thank God. And then I showed up, I was like, okay, this could be going better. But at the end, I'm enjoying the class, and I think it's a great idea, and I hope everyone will be able to eventually participate in it.
Especially experienced the fashion project, I learned that there's art to it too, and it's not just this isolated concept, it's embedded into our lives that you can't even like explain it, you just know. And what I really like is I also learned a lot from Mr. Diaz. He's the kind of teacher who kind of knows how to still believe in you when you've kind of given up on yourself. And I know absolutely no teacher who is so invested in their students that they're willing to stay till 9:30.
It was a fun time, and I've learned some things I'll remember for the rest of my life, like how only your imagination is what limits you.
That it doesn't really matter who you are, where you are, or where you come from. You can come here and you can create whatever you want. All you have to do is just believe in yourself and do what you want.
Here, you know, I like the teacher. He's pretty cool, Mr. Diaz. He's an awesome person. And then, you know, there's some awesome people in this class, and the Bible class is really cool. So.
And there's many other tools around you, and there's so many different ways to utilize them. And Mr. Diaz taught me how to do that. So
at the very beginning of this biomimicry project, I didn't really think about making prototypes and designing things and having exact materials, and it was really complicated, but I actually learned a lot from that, because now I'm a lot more specific with things, and I know what it takes to actually design something, and I really appreciated it. It was actually pretty fun.
And every single day has been this wonderful experience where I'm able to work with different types of people. I'm able to work with different grades. I'm able to learn from every single person, unlike I would have in any of my other classrooms. And just what I've been able to use as tools and use as my friends and be able to grow this experience with is pushing me forward to wanting to do this in college and wanting to have this type of community and this kind of family as it is. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity.